Hi there, Dr. Rajiv Iyer here with more secrets on how you can be successful as an international medical graduate doctor in the USA. Here, I'm going to tell you how I got my EB1 green card in just a span of 6 months. And more importantly, I'm going to tell you how you can exactly do the same so you get your green card super quick. Let's do this together. In my opinion, EB1 is the quickest way of obtaining a green card in the USA. If you look at the USCIS website, which is United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, they mention 3 different categories of EB1. One is EB1A, which is extraordinary ability. EB1B, which is outstanding researchers and professors, which is what my category was, so I'm going to explain more about this. And finally, it's EB1C. In order for you to be successful in the EB1B category, there are 7 things that are required. If you look at the website, they mention 6 different criteria. And the 7th one is the recommendation letters that you would need. The website also says out of the 6 criteria, you have to satisfy at least 2. Well, I'm going to say you have to satisfy all 6. Not just 2, because your application has to be super strong in order for you to be successful. You may be weak in 1 or 2 criteria and strong in the others, but at least you would have provided evidence that you satisfy all 6 of the criteria. Is that making sense how important this is? I remember when my EB1 application was made, the whole package was a few hundred pages. So there is a lot of documentation that's required. Let's look at this one by one with some specific example that will help you where to focus on. The first thing is evidence of receipt of major prizes or awards for outstanding achievement. Have you won a Nobel Prize, an Oscar Award, or a Pulitzer Prize? That's it. You can just apply and get it done. Just kidding. If you did win any of these, then you do qualify to get a green card in a span of 15 days. But most IMGs do not fit into this criteria. So the awards in this case should be something that's recognized nationally by your home country, or in the Canada, or in USA, or any other country. I'll give you an example. Let's say you submit a thesis, you win the best thesis award in your hospital. This thing will not qualify for EB1. But on the other hand, if you have an award, let's say you're an anesthesiologist from India, you have an award from Indian Society of Anesthesiology, this definitely will count towards EB1. So I personally had an award from Indian Society of Anesthesiology called the Young Anesthesiologist Award, which I think helped with my application. In addition, I had quite a few awards in the USA where I had presented research papers. These are some of the awards that they're looking for. Is that making sense? Any questions? Do post in the comments below. I'll try to get to you as soon as possible. The second criteria is evidence of membership in associations that require their members to demonstrate outstanding achievement. This means the membership should be invited. I'll give you another example. Let's say you finish your radiology residency, you automatically become a member of Indian Radiology Association or Canadian Radiology Association. How do you do that? You pay the membership dues and you become a member. These things do not count towards your EB1. The membership, in fact, should be based on something that the association would give you because of an achievement you have done. Paid memberships do not count. Sorry. The third thing is having evidence of published material in professional publications written by others about the non-citizens' work in the academic field. This is very interesting. I'll be more specific here. Let's say I have a research paper. I'm the first author. And then when someone is citing my paper, they should have written Iyer et al. In their study have demonstrated that use of CPAP successfully improves the apnea-hypopnea index in patients with sleep apnea. The name should be specified. This citation can be on the print or can be online. For example, it could be in a newsletter where someone has cited your work. This goes to say that you're doing high quality work that others are liking. Number 4 is you should have evidence of participation either on a panel or individually as a judge of the work of others in the same or allied academic field. I'll give you an example here. Let's say you're a cardiologist. You've been invited to a major cardiology conference. You serve as a panelist where there are some speakers talking about some topic. Or you're moderating a session where there are reputed speakers talking. These are the things that count towards EB1. And this is exactly what this criteria means. Now, I understand you might be a fresh IMG who is still wondering, how can I achieve all this? This starts with making small connections and taking small steps. So you go to conferences, talk to people, make connections, work hard, be active in research, and then you will get to that level in a span of few years, assuming you have a right direction and someone guiding you properly. Is this all making sense? How important each of these criteria is for you to get a green card. It can take a really long time to get a green card, and especially if you're from India or China, it can take up to 8 to 10 years to change your status from a visa to a green card. So if you get an EB1, everything would get expedited. Criteria number 5 is to have evidence of original scientific or scholarly research contributions in the field. This, I think, is pretty obvious. This means you need to have a lot of research publications. This could be peer-reviewed manuscripts on the research side. This could be systematic reviews, meta-analysis. There is no prescribed number as to how many publications you need to have. But the more you have, the better it is. I want to say one thing for you all IMGs. I see on social media that people calling for collaborating with case reports, research publications, and things like that. Just be careful about this. Make sure whatever you're doing, it's ethically, legally, and morally right. The publications for EB1 has to be in good journals. When I say good journals, these journals should have an impact factor. Now you can find easily about an impact factor about any journal by going into Google and typing the journal name and the impact factor. You'll get a number. So make sure you are actually doing some quality work. The higher the impact factor is, the better it is. I personally had a lot of publications when I applied for EB1. I also had publications in journals like Lancet that really helped me a lot because I could highlight how high the impact factor of these journals is where I have published. Is this making sense as to how high quality work speaks for itself? Criteria number 6 is evidence of authorship of scholarly books or articles in scholarly journals with international circulation in the field. So this essentially is like your criteria number 5, except that here they're looking at book chapters. Now, you might be wondering as an IMG or a fresh graduate as to how you would get access to writing a book chapter. Now, here is how it works. Let's say you apply for a residency or fellowship and then you make some connections in the US. You can work with experienced consultants who many times get invited to write book chapters. You do not have to be the primary person who is getting invited. You can be just one of the 3 or 4 or how many ever authors it is, but that is going to give you credit as an author on a book chapter and satisfies the criteria in this category. The US immigration officers who are reviewing your application do understand all this because they are reviewing so many applications every day. So they can recognize what is a high quality work and what is not a high quality work. So always focus on high quality work. And finally, something that is really a must is getting a lot of different recommendation letters. These recommendation letters have to come from reputed universities in the USA. There is a specific format on how these letters are written. Also focus on getting quite a few international letters of recommendation as well. This can come from various different countries, including your home country, because the more you have, the better it is. Here is a huge disclosure I want to make. I'm neither an immigration attorney nor an immigration consultant. I'm saying all this based on my own personal experience and the experience of other IMGs I have seen who have been successful with the EB1 application just like I did. Make sure you get professional advice to help you out in order to make decisions. The next video I recommend you to watch is how to come to USA directly as a consultant without repeating residency all over again. Any questions? Post in the comments below. I try to get back to you as soon as I can. Take care, stay safe. I will talk to you soon. I'm going to tell you how you can exactly do the same so you get So you get your green card. If you look at the USCIS website, which is United States Customs, which I think would have helped a little bit, which I think would have helped with my application. If you have international recommendation letters, that is also fantastic. I'll be back, guys.